Hi, this is Steve Gallegos. I am the author of How to Live Remarkably, Proven Strategies to Help You Solve Your Problems, Make Better Decisions, and Eliminate Stress. I wrote this book because I wanted to share the wisdom that I've learned over the years from numerous experts whose programs I've attended, or books that I've read, or courses that I've attended or participated in. And it happens that there's a consistent pattern of conduct and behavior that all of the best performers, from athletes to movie stars to political leaders to business leaders to entrepreneurs to community leaders and social leaders, that they all follow. And these things can be, they were imparted to me, and so I want to impart them to you. And so I'm here to read chapter 1 of my book, How to Live Remarkably, and hopefully, well, not even hopefully, because I know you're going to love it. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, it's called Who's in Charge Here? Who is in charge? Who's in charge? All right. Not long ago, it was a dark and stormy night. Okay, no, that's not how it goes at all. Not too long ago, I was scheduled to speak at an early morning conference across town. Because I had been to this area many times, I had a good sense of how long it would take me to arrive. Well, on the morning of my scheduled talk, I awoke and looked out my window only to find everything was covered in snow. And lots of it. And I thought, wow, snow in Dallas? How does this happen? I realized that the snow, beautiful as it was, would make the roads difficult to navigate. It just so happens that the Dallas drivers freak out when it rains. I could only imagine the havoc that would result from the snow. I also realized that I had not planned for snow and had left myself with very little time to go to where I needed to go. Yikes! Well, so I quickly got ready and vroom, off I went to my meeting. Have you ever scheduled an important meeting, perhaps a job interview with a meeting with a prospective client, or to pick up your date for a special evening? And did you ever encounter a traffic delay or a closed roadway and had to find an alternate route to your destination? No? Really? So I'm the only one that this has ever happened to? I don't think so. Well, it did happen to me. As I sped to my meeting, still hoping that I would arrive in time, I encountered the most horrifying of visions. It's as horrifying as it gets when you're racing across town in the snow in Dallas trying to get to an important meeting. A sign which read, "Road closed." Wow! I remember getting out and kicking the sign out of frustration as it stood there mocking me as I said, "Who's in charge here?" By the way, the sign in the above photo is the exact sign that I'm talking about, and if you look very closely at the photo, you might even see where I kicked it. I know that for many people, the idea of accepting full responsibility for the circumstances of their lives is a challenge. Many of us raised with the idea that when things go wrong, it's always someone else's fault. Now, clearly, it was not my fault for the snow conditions or the road closure. However, I was responsible for making sure that I gave myself enough time to get to where I needed to go safely, regardless of the circumstances. At the very least, having checked the weather the night before would have clued me in to the fact that I needed to wake up earlier to account for the road conditions in Dallas. So, while we may not be responsible for acts of nature such as hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, or earthquakes, the unavoidable truth is that everything that stems from us is within our control. We must acknowledge this and accept that let me start that again, that sentence. We must acknowledge this and accept it, just as we acknowledge and accept the power of gravity that affects everything and everyone on this planet. What are the things that stem from us? It is what I refer to as TFWA. I don't know if I can say that as an acronym. TFWA. These are your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions. Believe me, I know it's hard and it may not make sense. I am convinced that there are people who purposely do things to interfere with my reading this book. I'm convinced that there are people who purposely do things which cause us to react in a certain way. They often do it on purpose just to annoy us and make us angry. However, that is exactly the problem. If we allow others to control and manipulate our feelings, our words, and our actions, then they're in charge of our lives. Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? So, if you want to finally solve all of your problems and frustrations and struggle and live a remarkable life, you must be the one in charge. In order to take charge, you must agree to live by the following critical principle. And that principle is, I am solely responsible for my thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. This means that no matter how unfortunate, unpleasant, or unexpected your current life situation, we must discontinue blaming others for where we find ourselves. Not for what we find ourselves, but we must discontinue blaming others for where we find ourselves. And if you've ever said one or more of the following, now it's time to stop. Things like, if he had not said that to me, if she had not done that to me, but they made me do it, the devil made me do it. He makes me so mad. She frustrates the crap out of me. I can't because, and then insert your favorite subject there, the government, the schools, the politicians, the lawyers, City Hall, the police, etc., etc. My neighbors, my dog, because they won't let me. So we need to stop saying those things. Whatever your current situation, whether you consider it good or bad, is a direct consequence of the decisions that you have made up to this point in your life. Everything, good or bad in your life right now, is because you came to a fork in the road which required you to make a decision to go one way or to go the other. Now, keep in mind that I'm not sharing this to cause you to feel bad, or for you to make excuses, or for you to start rationalizing your previous decisions. What's done is done, and no amount of analyzing, judging, criticizing, justifying, or Monday morning quarterbacking is going to change a past decision. Know also that you made your previous decisions based upon information you had at that time and your beliefs about that information. Although we cannot go back and change those prior decisions, we can certainly make new decisions starting right now. Okay. Research tells us that up until the age of 7, children do not possess the mental capacity to rationalize or to think for themselves. They are reliant on their parents and other adults to make their decisions. However, after the age of 7, and barring any medical or mental health condition which prevents us from doing otherwise, most of us know how to think for ourselves and are able to make our own decisions. So, if you are over the age of 7, and I'm going to assume that you are if you are reading this book or listening to this video, you can no longer blame your parents or anyone else for the decisions that you have made. Those days are over. Now we can certainly point to others who have programmed our minds with many of the beliefs which we have. This is not placing blame, it is simply identifying the source of a particular belief. While knowing the source of your beliefs is important, it is more important to know that you can change your programmed beliefs anytime that you choose. However, in order to do so, and to have those changes be effective, you must first assume complete responsibility for your TFWA, thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. The reason this is critically important is because the person in charge gets to make the decisions, don't they? Think about it. If you believe that other people are responsible for how you think, how you feel, and act, then you must wait for them to change before you can change anything in your life. The person in charge gets to make all of the decisions. I'm going to say that again because it's important. The person in charge gets to make all of the decisions. If you are unwilling to take full and complete responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions, you can stop reading this book, for it will be of no use to you whatsoever. However, if you agree to accept responsibility, then you are going to enjoy what I am about to share with you. As a matter of fact, you're going to love it. I'm Steve Gallegos. Chapter 1 of How to Live Remarkably. You can get the book on Amazon. You can just follow this link down below here that you see in the video. And I've also prepared a special Secrets to Living Remarkably, which is an audio program that you can get and download it on CD, MP3, and listen to it in your car, in your MP3 player as you're working out in the gym. And it's kind of a precursor. It's kind of a condensed version of what this book is. And even though this book is not very long, and it's very easy to read, and it's got lots of pictures and stuff like that. Look, there's my family and I, my brother and I, climbing Pikes Peak. You're going to love it. So again, I'm Steve Gallegos. Send me questions, leave your comments below. Follow me on Facebook, Stevie G Success, and Twitter, LinkedIn. Just look me up, and I'll be happy to connect with you. Thank you.